This video is going to show you how to access the Nearpod Social and Emotional Learning Library. So I'm here now just at nearpod.com, and I'm going to come down to Teachers and log in. From here, I'm going to choose Log in with Google so that it uses my Google CHCLC account to sign in. And once I get into Nearpod, first thing I'm looking at is my library within Nearpod. So this would be anything that I've either added to my library from their content already or things that I've created on my own. I want to come down here to Nearpod content, and the social and emotional learning library from Nearpod is right here. So I'm going to click on that, and you'll see some pre-made Nearpod lessons get displayed. I can hover over them and choose to add one to my library, and that will make it so that I can then share it with my students to either use completely as it is, as they've already created it, or I can take just certain pieces of it, certain slides, certain elements, and integrate it into a separate lesson that I have started or that I'm doing within Nearpod. If you look, these are the different categories. So there's 4 different lessons within that first one. And it also shows the grade levels that these have been created for. So some of them are 9 to 12, some of them are 6 to 12. So you just have to go through them and see which activities within them are going to be ones that you want to use with your students. But if I come to this one, I've already added it in my library. So I'm just going to go to Show in my library. And once I get there, you'll see that the different lessons have been added to my library for me to then either assign or look through to share with my students. I'm going to go into this one. It's already ready to go, so I can just click on one of these if I want to use it as is, or I can come down here to Preview if I want to see what it looks like. And then I can click through. There's 9 different slides within this lesson, and I could have this up on my screen for the students to do live while we're in a Google Meet together, or I can assign it to do them student paced on their own, where they would go through the slides on their own and interact with them as it says on the screen. There's some different videos within it that you can play, or there's some questions that the students would interact with. So as the students type the answers, you there as the teacher would be able to see them, and you can share with the class if you chose, or just keep them private to yourself as you're clicking along and going through these different slides within it. I am now going to go out of this, and somehow I'll go back here to Nearpod, and I'll come back to my library and go into, whoops, oh, I went back by accident. Sorry, I'm going to go back to Nearpod, and I'm going to come back into the Calm one. I'll go back here, Social Emotional Learning, come back here to Show in my library. And I just wanted to show you, if you go in here to Edit, you can edit the lesson as it is, or we can duplicate it first so that I would still have that other one to go back to if I chose. And now here is where I can take things out. I can copy them or use them in another Nearpod lesson that I was already doing if I wanted, or just take the specific video from here if I wanted to just use that piece, add in my own slides, my own content, save it, and then I could assign it to my students from there. So this was just a very brief overview on getting to that social and emotional learning library within Nearpod, and interacting with the content a little bit. If you would like help with the more specific Nearpod related things, please stop down or email me, and I'll be happy to help you out as best I can with working through and figuring this stuff out to use with your students. Thanks, everybody.